Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Excellent. How about yourself?
Doing well. Can't believe it's going to be raining again.
Oh, is it?
It looks like it.
Oh, I heard this morning that they said it passed
Good
through.
morning. Morning, how are you? I'm sorry, what was that again?
I heard this morning that they said it passed through.
Oh, it looks dark over here. Maybe it's just cloudy.
Oh, could be. Yeah, it could be.
Miss Rhodes, did you get your grass cut before it rained? Did you get your grass cut, Miss Rhodes? Oh, you're on mute.
Okay. Listen.
Hi, Miss Higgs.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Miss Farley.
How are you this morning?
Doing
Good
well.
morning. How are you, Miss Melody?
Great. How are you
Good.
doing, Miss Jackson?
I am excellent, thank you. Except I'm tired as the dickens, and I can't wait to go to bed.
Oh no.
Lordy, Lord.
Jackson, what have you been doing? It's only 10 a.m.
I know. I had to keep my grandbabies
Okay.
since Sunday night.
Okay.
Okay.
You know,
That'll
it's
do it.
uncomfortable
That'll
when
do it.
How
and I was
old are
supposed to have
they?
been coming home yesterday, but Mama didn't get home until late. Well, early this morning, late this morning, actually about 4 o'clock.
Miss Jackson, how old are they?
The baby is 5, and the oldest girl is 14.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
You've earned some rest.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
I like your hairstyle.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
I like that. I just don't know how to do it.
I'll have to show you. When you come in the office one day, I have to show you.
Okay,
Good
that will work.
morning.
Good morning. Hey, Miss Haynes, Miss Tiggs,
Miss Haynes.
Rhodes, Miss Farley. Y'all looking good.
Oh,
You.
And also, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to type your name in so that we know you're in listening to our presentation.
Hi, Allison. Hi, Grace. Thank y'all for joining us today.
Hi, Melanie. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. These are early birds. They get
Yep.
on. So,
They like to hang out with us.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
see y'all very often, so when the opportunity avails itself, we get time in.
Yep.
we miss y'all. Hi, Miss Jones.
Good morning. How's
Hi,
everybody?
Miss Dorothy.
Good.
Hi,
How are you?
everybody. What's up? What's up?
Miss Jones.
When you said that, I feel like going like this.
Melissa, how's your headache?
It's better.
It's better.
It's better. Yeah, this weather makes it linger.
I think that's what it is. Most people now, they're complaining of their, having headaches.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it's better.
Thank you.
I have an announcement.
Getting married? Are you getting
No,
married?
no, that's not the announcement. The announcement is my phone needs to be replaced, and until I can get some money to replace it, it won't take a charge. So I'm pretty low. So if I should drop out, that's the reason why, because it won't charge.
You know, you may
Got it
want
on
to go
charge.
to,
Huh?
you may want to go to your provider.
No.
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 Okay.
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go to my provider when I get some money.
I know.
And get another phone, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
You know,
I
but
understand that.
phones are so expensive now.
I
That's
know,
true.
that's why I need money. Goodness.
Yeah, they are
I know.
expensive.
He
Well,
told me that where I got the phone from, which was Metro PCS, he told me I could get another one for free if I changed my phone number. I said, no, I had this number too long to change it, honey. I can't change it. He said, well, I can't give it to you. Oh, well, okay. There you go.
well, Miss
You trade
Jackson,
consumer cellular?
Consumer Cellular is who my carrier is now.
Oh, okay.
oh, well, go on to Metro PCS. That's where I belong, and I had to get another phone. So if I hit something and blank out, y'all, it's not because I'm not wanting to listen. I'm just learning this new phone. This is Miss Rose.
Oh, okay,
Metro
girl.
PCS is where I got this phone from.
Ms. Rhodes, did you finish your yard?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I had my phone on mute when I was talking
Yeah.
to you. My neighbor cut it for me. It's nice.
Oh, look at you. You lucked out.
Yes, I did. I was waiting on him. Oh, and I gave him some of those tea cakes I was baking.
Oh,
Oh.
man. Everybody's waiting for it. I was like, man. Oh, well. Next time.
When we meet again, that's something you can bring. You think you can bring enough for everybody to at least get one?
If the Lord say so and people don't get greedy.
Well, you know people don't get greedy anyway. That's why you bring a little extra.
And
What
you
is
know
the
I
tea cake
will.
lady? What is the tea cake lady name?
Annie Rose.
Annie Rose. Okay. God bless you.
RHODES.
ROH.
No, RHODES.
Okay. My name is Lillian Henry, and I shall be looking for you. I have a deal for you someday. With the tea cakes.
Oh, well, great.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, tea cakes are good with coffee.
Yes, it is.
Well, these were so good. I just ate them plain. They were melting in my mouth.
I know that's right.
Don't entice me. Stop the madness.
Hey, I love it.
That's
'Cause
not
I
fair,
know how
Ms.
good they
Rose.
are. I know
That is
how
not fair.
I'm sorry. At our first meeting, if the Lord said the same and I'm healthy, well, I'll just bring some and I'll have everybody one tea cake.
Hey, tea cake.
Wow.
I have you
Miss Jean
know,
don't need no cakes.
no, I sure don't, but I want one anyway. But I
Yes.
have you know I grew up on eating tea cake. My mother used to make them all the time.
Well, I'm gonna
Wow.
Well, you don't need them more.
Yes, I do. It's been a long time. I'm old now. I'm a senior.
Okay. I know. Me too.
Yeah. I just finished drinking 2 cups of coffee and I still feel like I'm ready to go to sleep.
Sorry, but y'all have to bring your own bluebell. I can't bring that.
Ooh, don't even try it. Don't even try it, Miss Rose. That is not nice because blueberry is my favorite.
I'll bring the ice. I'll bring
And
the ice.
Dorothy,
I said ice cream.
what did y'all bring in here? I
ice
missed
do?
something.
What's ice got to do with it?
What ice got to do?
She left the cream off. She thinks she's smart.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, the old
Oh,
ladies was
God.
something else this morning.
All the time.
It's the weather.
Oh yeah,
Smoke,
it is
man.
the weather. They're hollering about the weather.
Melissa,
Yes, ma'am.
I cannot find my manual, my training manual. Could I get another one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yo,
Who was the one who asked that? Who was asking that?
Rose. Miss Rose.
That's right. I thought so. I was just looking
Okay.
down at the moment.
We're gonna update those because there's been a lot of changes. So we need to
Oh, okay.
updating those. So everybody will get a new one.
And I'll come and get mine. Just let me know so I can bring you guys some tea cakes out
Yeah.
there.
No, you ain't finna do that.
I'll be at the office tomorrow.
No. No, she didn't.
Yes, I did. I want them brownie points.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I will be at the office tomorrow, so.
I think I might drop by just have a little peek at y'all. See,
Yeah.
that way you include me too.
And the old folks is something else. The oldest one is 90.
She done said the magic word, tea cakes.
Food.
You know what?
Free food.
Old is beautiful.
Tea cakes are good.
Old is beautiful. That is true.
Everybody
Yeah.
can
Good
make
morning.
cakes.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Rogelia
Morning.
Anderson.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Rogelia
else.
Anderson.
All right, Miss Anderson, we see you. Hi, Miss Anderson.
How you
Good
doing?
morning, Hamlet.
Martinez.
Doing
Okay,
good.
I'm gonna do a roll call.
Well,
So
I
you
go
guys
back.
don't have to listen to me. I'm gonna tell you who we've got. Okay.
Okay.
Those of you who we can see your faces, I'm not gonna call your name. Those of you on the phone, I'll let you know that we've got you. Miss Henry,
Yes. Oh,
Shirlene Smith, Willis, Miss Willis is here. Miss Greger is here. Miss Hamlet is here. Miss Matthews is here. Martinez,
What happened?
Miss Knighton is here. Miss Rita Kelly is here. Miss
Right ahead of you for some
and Miss Gibson is here.
Oh.
So we've got you all on the line, okay?
Okay.
I'm here.
Martinez.
Miss Mabry.
Yes, maybe we can see you. That's why I didn't call your name.
Oh, okay, babe.
You got a lot of background noise.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody for a little bit so that, did you want to call? Or are you good, Melanie?
Good.
See if I can. So he's gonna be right back.
You two up. Melissa, do you have YouTube up?
Huh?
You have YouTube playing?
I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody.
So it looks like we've got 3 people watching on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, please type your name in the chat so that we know you are with us. If you're on YouTube, please type your name in the chat so we know who you are and we can give you credit for being here today.
Melanie, you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, Miss Watson.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mary Hamlet, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, Miss Hamlet. We've got you down. You know what? I'll go ahead and do that roll call again so y'all will know that we see you all here with us. So give me 1 second and I'll do the roll call. I'm only going to call the names of the people who I can't see. Those of you who are on Zoom, we can see you and you can see us. So I've got Miss Henry, Miss Jerlene Smith, Miss Willis, Miss Greger, Miss Hamlet, Miss Martinez, Miss Knighton, Miss Rita Kelly, Miss Holmes, Miss Gibson. Let's see. I think that's it. The rest of you are on Zoom. Oh, Miss McCoy, we've got you, Miss McCoy. Now, if I miss someone and I did not call your name and you're here, to unmute yourself if you're on the phone, press *6 and that will unmute you. You can talk back to me.
Teresa Matthews.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Matthews, we've got you down.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Constance, do you have, excuse me, Jacqueline Brooks down?
Yes, Miss Brooks, got you.
Yeah, Miss Brett.
300 Maxine Goodwin.
Yes, I didn't call you all because you're on Zoom, so we can see you. I was just
you
calling
can
the
see
folks
me?
who have dialed in.
You didn't call Miss Brett.
Miss Brett, we see you. We see
Okay.
you. We're gonna give a couple of more minutes. We'll get started in about 3 more minutes, okay?
Okay.
Miss Arts, Miss Mary Williams, Miss Knighton, thank y'all for joining us this morning. Miss Gibson, thank you for joining us. We're gonna give a couple of more minutes. Is someone on YouTube? Because I hear the replay coming back. So if you're on YouTube, it's
All right, just a minute.
Mary Williams, thank y'all for joining us this morning. Miss McAfee, I see that you're on YouTube. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, Miss McAfee. If you are on YouTube and you haven't typed your name in, type your name in to let us know you're watching on YouTube. All right, 1 more minute and then we're gonna get this meeting started.
You moved there. Okay, that'll stay.
If you're on Zoom and you don't have your camera on, if you don't mind, we'd love for you to turn your camera on so we can see your lovely faces.
Oh,
Where do you type your name in on YouTube?
In the chat, but we've got you on the line, Ms. Brooks, so you don't have to, don't worry about it.
Okay.
We've got you on the line.
All right. All right.
Brooks, thank you for joining us this morning. Ms. Palmer, thank you for joining us this morning. All right. So good morning, y'all. Melissa, before we jump into here, I want to show something else. Can you let me share my screen really quickly? So a lot of you all, you know, when I talk to you, you all ask about Miles. How is Miles doing? I just wanted to give y'all a quick update. Miles is doing great. He will turn 3 on this Sunday.
wow.
It's been 3 years. And so it's been a long time since y'all have seen him. So I wanted to show y'all this quick little video. He is full of energy, full of words, full of opinions. So I wanted to share this quick little video of Miles with you all. So
Okay.
pull it up.
Miles, let me see you wink your eye.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
So that is my little big boy now.
Yes, he can wink both his eyes. Big old pretty eyes.
Thank you. So yeah, he's doing great, and we'll turn 3 this Sunday. So we're gonna have a birthday parade, and he is enamored with fire trucks, and so that's the theme of the party, and we're gonna have a good little celebration for him.
All right.
All right, so Melissa, go ahead and you can share the screen, please. All right, so y'all, it's March 25th. We are almost finished with the first quarter of 2021. All
And
right,
then
next slide, please.
oh yeah.
So we wanted to start off the meeting because we hear a lot of chit chatter in the morning with you guys. And before I jump into birthdays, I do well. I guess we'll do this after I do birthdays. But we're gonna do breakout space rooms for you all to kind of. We're gonna break you all into smaller groups. So you can have about 5 minutes just to catch up and chit chat with each other, because that's normally how we would start our day. If you all were in the office with us, you come in and get a cup of coffee, find your seat at your table, and say hi to one another and catch up. And so we wanted to give you all the space and time to do that with one another versus us all being in the one big room together where we can't really hear each other and people are talking over each other. We want to break you all up into small groups just for a few minutes, so about 5 minutes for you all to say hi, say how you doing, haven't seen you in a while. So you'll get a message. I'm not sure how this will work for the folks on the phone. Melissa, do you happen to know?
I do not know.
All right.
If they stay in the room, we can leave this as a solid room then.
Okay.
If they're on the phone.
For those of you who are on Zoom, you're gonna get put into a smaller room with out of 2 to 3 other people, maybe 4 people, and you all can just say your name and say how you doing to each other and just catch up for a little bit. That be okay with everybody?
Yes.
I have about 7 people in each room.
Okay.
So,
okay, perfect.
So if you don't remember how to go into the breakout room, you're gonna get a message from on your Zoom. It's gonna say join breakout room. And then you're gonna click that. It's gonna take you out to your breakout room. And then I will bring everybody back in about 5 minutes. And you would just click that back to go into the main room. All right. So we will see you on the other side.
If you don't remember how to go into the breakout room, you're going to get a message from on your Zoom. It's going to say join breakout room. And then you're going to click that. It's going to take you out to your breakout room. And then I will bring everybody
should be
back
going.
in about 5 minutes. And you will just click that back to go into the main room. All right. So we will see you on the other side. If you don't remember how to go into the breakout room,
remember, click that room so that you can go to the breakout room.
Okay.
Everybody should have been going. Did you get it, Miss Dorothy? Miss
No.
Farley? You should have gone to a breakout room. Make sure tap your screen to make sure it's awake, and then it should ask you to join the breakout room.
No, I did something wrong.
Okay, let me go ahead and.
Because I got a screen that says close and send to everybody.
Okay, go ahead and exit out of that one.
How do I exit out? Okay, now I'm back on the.
Yeah, let me see if I can just go ahead and move you over.
Okay. Okay, now I see join breakout room. Join
there
now.
You go. Yes, ma'am. You just go ahead and go to that.
I'm Shirley Jones, and I can't.
Yeah, I just sent you
put
to, I just sent you
picture
to,
up
I just sent you to a room. So you're getting ready to go back to a room, okay?
there talking to me.
Yes, Miss Lotus.
Yes.
So you should say,
This is Shirley Jones.
okay, Miss Jones, let me send you to a classroom, okay? Miss
Okay.
Flores, did you see a little pop-up that says join break room?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
go ahead and tap that. Okay, Miss Jones, let me see where you are. Let me move you to a room. There you go. And Miss Jones, let's see where you are. Okay. All right. So you should have tapped that one that says join screen, join break room. Did you find that, Miss Jones?
The one that says join break room?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Tap that.
Well, I guess I need to hit the more button.
No, it's not going to be the more click.
Oh boy.
No worries.
It's not working for me.
There we go. All right. I will be right back. I am being asked to join someone real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, it just told me Zoom has stopped. It's my crazy phone.
Ms. Jones?
Yes, my phone is telling me Zoom has stopped. I hear you all, but I can't see anything.
Okay, well, if you hear us, and Miss Tiggs, I'm here. My name's Allison, and I'm one of the speakers today. And Grace is with me. She's also speaking today. We're doing the program that's a little bit later. So how are you all doing?
No
Ms.
complaints.
Have you all been doing these virtual meetings every month, or how often do you do them?
Once a month.
Well, hey, Melissa. Oh, you're on mute, Melissa.
There we go. Miss Jones, did you ever get that?
Okay, all I have is my profile, and I can hear you all, but it says my internet is not connected.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. You should be able to. All right.
Ms. Tiggs, are you with us?
Yes. Oh, now I am being summoned. I'll be right back.
Sure. Ms. Tiggs? Hello?
Is she just on the phone?
Well, no, I think she's on Zoom because we can see her name. She just doesn't have the video on. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Someone just came back on the phone, but they're on mute. Let's see. Can you unmute? It's number 214.
Yes, looks like at the bottom.
762-0425. Is there a way to unmute? Melissa, you're on mute.
It does that every time I come back in. All right,
sure, we were trying to ask the person with the phone number if they can unmute. And we can't hear Miss Tiggs.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see if I can get her.
Melissa, that password, these links don't work right. Because you got on there, it's one of the ladies just told me how to dial it on Zoom, but then they passcode is 471830. That doesn't work. It's invalid. So then I just start playing with it and I put the passcode SCP. That worked. Well,
Well, you know what? The other one is for if you're on a phone, like on the phone number.
But it worked on Zoom. It worked when I went to Zoom. Because if I just clicked the link that you guys had, it kept telling me it was invalid. So I used the dial in on Zoom and it worked, but I had to use the passcode from something else. So is this going to be the one every week?
It is. It's the same one.
Okay. I'll make note of that.
All right. So everybody's going to be coming back.
Beg pardon?
No, I was just bringing everybody back.
Okay. I didn't see, somebody was helping me, but I was on the phone, so I couldn't see her. Whoever it was, I sure thank them.
Ladies.
Yeah, I just heard you say
hello.
Hi, this is Miss Purifoy. I'm having trouble too, but
me too. We all have a drill.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm on. Cut on.
I'm trying to get into the meeting on my computer, but I just cannot bring it up. I can see me, but I can't get into the meeting.
You are in the meeting.
So I'm just going to have to do it on my telephone. I don't know what I did to my computer, so I'm just going to close it off and just stay on the phone for the meeting.
I couldn't get in either. I could not. Want somebody in the chat just help me. Whoever you were, thank you, because we got cut off. But I had to dial the number that you use. If you don't have Zoom, and I dialed it in on Zoom, and then use the meeting code from the other one from the update SCP. Right. I'm glad you got in. This is Dorothy Jones.
Thank
you, Dorothy. You're welcome.
Yeah, but that's not Dorothy.
That's not what the link won't take you there. If I just click the link, it won't let me in. I had to play around with it, and finally Dorothy helped me get in. Yeah.
Good morning. I just don't do the link. I just go right to Zoom and put in the meeting ID and then the passcode, and that's it.
And you use SCP then?
Oh, yes, ma'am. SCP.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I had a problem trying to find you too.
All right, ladies, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. All right, so we just hope y'all really enjoyed that. We'll do more breakout rooms just so that everybody can see each other and talk to each other and not be in such a big group sometimes, because like Melanie said, y'all used to do that when we were in person. So trying to bring a little bit of that personality back. So we are going to celebrate April birthdays. So Melanie, I'll let you. Well, I click, you're on mute.
Okay. All right, can you pull up the slides, Melissa?
I sure can. There we go.
So we've got some birthdays coming up in April, and we just wanted to shout you all out. So as we go through the month, the rest of the companions will know who is celebrating a birthday this month. So to kick off the month, we've got Miss Gonzalez, Miss Maria Gonzalez, having a birthday on April the 7th. And then the very next day, we've got Miss Palmer, who will be celebrating a birthday on April 8th. On April 9th, Miss Flores will be celebrating. So that's going to be a very busy week of celebrations for senior companions. And then a couple of days later, Miss Olivia Holmes will be celebrating her birthday on April 11th. Miss Jacqueline Brooks will be celebrating her birthday on April 14th, and she actually will be celebrating along with Miss Rose Martin. They share a birthday on April 14th. And then to close out the month, we've got our own Miss Dorothy Jones celebrating her birthday on April 29th. So if you have a birthday and you're on Zoom, will you wave your hand so the folks that are on Zoom can see you? And we want to wish you all a very, very happy birthday. All right. We just want you all to mark your calendars. Our next in-service meeting will be April 8th, I believe. I think it says the 7th on here, but I think it'll be April 8th.
It is April 8th. I apologize. It is the
That's
8th.
okay.
I'm getting all excited about my, so the Zoom training is April 7th. The in-service is April 8th.
There we go.
There we go. So the Zoom is for, let anybody know that has not been trained for Zoom to take the next class so that we can pretty much have everybody, all the companions on Zoom.
So we're going to do a quick little, I know I want to make sure I'm mindful of the time, but we want to do a quick little fun game with the birthday folks. Melissa, I saw this.
I got the wheel.
Pull that back up. So we're going to spin a wheel. The folks who are celebrating this month, we put your names in a wheel, and if your name is chosen, I've got a question for you that I'd love for you to answer. So you're going to have to unmute yourself if you are chosen. All right, there goes the wheel. All right, Ms. Gonzalez, are you on the line with us? I don't think I saw Ms. Gonzalez on.
All right.
Let's try again. Oh, Ms. Flores. Ms. Flores, can you unmute your phone? Can you unmute your phone? Hit the little microphone. Tap your phone.
I just asked her to unmute, so there we go.
She's trying.
Yep.
Okay, now tap your phone, Ms. Flores, and you should see a microphone down in the bottom corner. Do you see it?
But let's have her work on that.
Okay. We'll try another name. We'll come back to her.
Melanie?
Oh, there you go, Ms. Flores.
There you go.
Okay, so the question I have for you, Ms. Flores, is what is your hidden talent?
What is your
hidden talent?
My hidden talent?
Yes.
What would I say? Sewing?
Sewing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. Can always use a good seamstress.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Flores.
Okay.
Oh, Ms. Palmer. Ms. Palmer, are you on the line? Can you hit *6 if you're on the phone, Ms. Palmer, so we can hear you? I think she was here earlier, but I can't see.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
There you are.
Okay, my question for you, Ms. Palmer, is what are you most proud of?
Most proud of my grandchildren.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Ms. Palmer. This is going to be our last one, and then we're going to move on with the rest of the agenda. Ms. Martin, are you here? Oh, I saw Ms. Martin. I don't think I saw Ms. Martin.
Want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
End on a high note.
Oh, right. Barely squeaked by. All right, Miss Jones, Miss Dorothy Jones. What would you like to tell your 22-year-old self? Ms. Jones, are you muted? Because we can't hear you. She's trying to unmute. There you go.
I would just say, keep on doing what you're doing. Stay young, pretty, and just keep on shopping and just talking to those beautiful guys and just keep on keeping on.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, ladies. So happy birthday to all of you all. We really do hope you have a wonderful birthday and that all of your birthday wishes come true.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Pipkins, I see your hand raised. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Ms. Pipkins? Okay, well, if you're able to unmute yourself and ask your question, then let us know. We're gonna go on to the next thing. So we got an email from our team at the office earlier this week about a scam that we wanted to alert you all about. It's a Publishers Clearinghouse scam, and so basically a called into our office and they had received a letter stating that they were a winner of the Publishers Clearinghouse and they just needed to deposit some money into their account. And the letter that they received, y'all, had real information in it. So if you are able to see on your screen this letter that's on the screen, and if you can't, then make sure you go to YouTube and take a look at it later because I want you all to be aware of this. But this looks very legitimate. Like Melissa has circled some of the things on the slide that shows that if you got this, you probably would think you too. And if you went back and you looked at the name of the person who signed the letter, she actually works for Publishers Clearinghouse. And so that's the name of a real employee, real phone numbers and things like that. But it's still a scam. Did y'all hear that? It was
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So I want you all to be aware because I know how often y'all probably get these types of letters in the mail. And this could be, you could easily think that, oh man, especially during these times of COVID when, people are out of work and things like that. And so if somebody sends you a letter saying you won a good amount of money, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I need that right now. And you may be more apt to go to the bank and deposit and do everything that they instructed you to do. And then the next thing you know, you're in a world of trouble. So we wanted to alert you all to this. Just know that if at any time you have won money, you don't have to give money in order to get your winnings.
Yeah.
Okay?
I know that's right.
That should be a huge red flag to you. Say, no, something's not right with this. Also, if you get something like this and it sounds too good to be true, more often than not it is. But if you just want to check, that's what we at the Senior Source are here for. Please call us. Please call us before you share any personal information, banking information, deposit anything into your account. That's why we're here. We can help you figure out if this is legit or not. Don't just, go off the cusp and think, oh, this is great. I'm gonna, I've won this money and I really need it. It can help me and my family. That's what these scammers are betting on. Okay. That's what they're betting on. Please call us and let us know so we can help guide you through this process. Okay. I just wanted to share that with you all because I remember going to my grandmother's house and her having several letters from Publishers Clearinghouse. And so I imagine that you all get those types of letters pretty often as well. And I don't want you all to fall victim to a scam or a fraud or anyone that you know and care about as well. So any questions about that?
I got one.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't follow through with it, did you?
No, no, no. I mean, I got a question.
Okay.
You know that Social Security never calls you on the phone?
That's correct.
That's right.
That is correct.
I got a lot of phone calls that my Social Security is being used and
Yeah, me too.
uh-huh. But I just erase them. I don't answer because I know if it's true, they would send me a letter.
That's right. Thank you for saying that, Ms. Flores. That is very right. So those of you who weren't aware of that, Social Security won't call you
or text you.
Social Security does not need your Social Security number as well. They've already got that information.
Yeah.
So if someone calls you pretending to be from Social Security, that's not legit. Do exactly what Ms. Flores said. Hang up, delete the phone call, block the number, but do not give out your information. If Social Security needs to get in touch with you, they will mail you information. Okay?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
They sent me, there was a letter sent to me, and they were saying that I had something that I hadn't paid, and that they were going to go to my Social Security and take it out.
No.
No? All right.
Well, Miss Tiggs, I probably need a little bit more information to be able to tell you, but again, you can call us and we can connect you with folks here at the Senior Source that can help you figure out if that information is correct or if it's not. If you're unsure about it, call us. We are more than willing to help you out, okay?
All right.
Okay. And then you all know we've been celebrating Women's History Month, and so as we close out the month, we also just wanted to share another video with you all to celebrate another woman doing great things or who has done great things to help our society and our country. And so Melissa has a video that she's going to share with you all.
Yeah, she's actually one of my favorite actresses, inventors. You don't realize this until I saw a documentary, and it's very interesting. So I'll play that for y'all.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find really
Y'all hear that?
Yes.
One of the most remarkable minds of the 20th century belonged to a famous movie star who was also a brilliant inventor. Who was this amazing woman and what did she invent? Well, she was born in Austria in 1914 with the name of Hedwig Eva Kiesler. But people came to know her by her stage name, Hedy Lamarr. Hedy knew as a child that she wanted to be a famous actress, and she was determined to succeed. Movies were the newest thing, and the biggest movies in the world were made in Hollywood. She planned to quickly become famous in Europe and then go to Hollywood. And when she arrived in America in 1938, that's exactly what Hedy Lamarr did. She enjoyed fame and fortune as a movie star, but in Hollywood, the people in charge of making movies mainly valued actresses for how they looked. Hedy Lamarr was not shy about voicing her opposition to this view. She was well known for joking that anyone could be beautiful as long as you just stood around and didn't think much. And Hedy Lamarr was always thinking. From the time she was young, Lamarr had been fascinated by math, science, and engineering. As an adult, she even kept a small laboratory in her movie trailer and would work on ideas and inventions during breaks in filming. While Hedy Lamarr was enjoying her success in Hollywood, a deadly war had started in Europe that soon spread to much of the rest of the world. World War II. With her family still living in Austria, Hetty felt that she had to do something to help the war effort. An inventor friend of hers named Howard Hughes told her that the US government had asked him to try to build the fastest plane in the world. While Lamar thought about how to achieve this, she had an aha moment.
I thought the aeroplanes were too slow, so I decided that's not right. They shouldn't be square, the wings. So I bought a book of fish, and I bought a book of birds, and then used the fastest bird, connected it with the fastest fish, and I drew it together. When I showed him the results, he called me a genius.
Hetty Lamar understood that she was not behaving as others expected her to.
I was different, I guess. Maybe I came from a different planet, who knows? But whatever it is, inventions are easy for me to do.
Lamar wanted to do even more to help with the war effort. She knew that one of the biggest problems the Americans faced was at sea. The enemy had found a way to interfere with the radio signals that controlled the torpedoes American ships used to defend themselves from submarines. This was a big problem. It made American ships almost defenseless. One day, Hetty had another aha moment. Lamar partnered with a brilliant friend, and together they created and patented a secret communication system. It prevented the enemy from interfering with the torpedoes so they could reach their targets. Hetty Lamar and her friend donated their invention to the United States military, but the men in charge did not think it would work. It wasn't until much later that Hetty Lamar's invention was proven useful. Engineers used her invention as the inspiration for many modern communications technologies. So every time you use a cell phone, you are using technology that is partly based on Hetty Lamar's invention. In 2014, on what would have been her 100th birthday, Hetty Lamar was made a member of the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Hetty Lamar had her own style and outlook on life. She never let anyone tell her what she could or couldn't do, and she was always thinking.
I was different, I guess. Maybe I came from a different planet, who knows? But whatever it is, inventions are easy for me to do.
Has anybody ever heard of Hetty Lamar?
Yeah, but we didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't.
It's a great documentary about her life, how she invented Wi-Fi, basically the whole aspect of what we use today, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all of that. So it's pretty amazing, some of the inventions that she created. So we were going.
Thanks to Hetty Lamar, because we're all able to be together because of her. So
yeah,
there you go. All right. You want to go ahead and turn it over, Melanie? Want to
go ahead,
do introductions?
I'll let you go ahead and do it.
Oh, okay. We do have some presenters with us today from our partner in Senior Corps. It's Allison and Grace. They are from RSVP, and they're going to talk to us about helping prevent Medicare fraud. We're just talking about, the fraud from Publishers Clearinghouse. There's so much going on right now that this information is very vital to everything else with technology, the way everything is going, especially during this COVID and what to expect after COVID. So I will turn it over to Miss Allison and Miss Grace. Thank you for coming in and speaking to our wonderful group.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Melissa. I hope everyone can hear us. And Melissa, if you don't mind going ahead and muting
sure,
everybody except for me and Grace, and if you need to keep on too, that's obviously good.
Yeah, I'll
Just
mute
trying
everybody
to-
and then just go ahead and unmute yourselves. Unmute everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
And on your telephone, Melanie, what is the code to mute if you're on the telephone?
*6.
*6. So if you're on your telephone, please push *6.
Yes, fine. Okay, so I think we're good to go. We are going to just ask that everybody, if you've got questions during our presentation, to put them in the chat if you are able to do that. If not, just hold on to them until the end. We've got a lot of information we want to share. As Melissa said, I'm still getting a lot of feedback. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll do our best on the technology front with the feedback, but certainly let us know, Melissa, if there are some issues. I am the RSVP program coordinator, and in that role, I do coordinate the training and outreach activities of our senior Medicare Patrol volunteers. And Grace is one of those volunteers, and she's co-presenting with me today. And we are going to share information that will help you identify potential Medicare fraud, will help you recognize Medicare scams, and certainly all of these COVID-19 scams, which have just exploded. So we've got a lot of information that hopefully will be helpful to you in that area. And we know that you're going to feel empowered to safeguard your own benefits, your own Medicare and health benefits, as well as those of others. And so we're really glad to have this opportunity to speak with you. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video and share my screen. And get into just a moment. Here we go. All right. So certainly let me know if that is not visible, Melissa. All right. So we'll get started. Senior Medicare Patrol, which we call SCP for short, started in 1997, and we had one in every state and territory by 2003. And the senior source is in partnership with the Texas SCP. The Texas SCP is in Houston, and so they operate the hotline, which actually I'm going to put in the chat right now, this hotline number really fast. Because I'll be referring to it later, and I'll mention it out loud as well to those who may be just listening on the phone. So if you want to jot down the SCP hotline number for future reference, it's 1-888-341-6187. And that will have more meaning to you as we continue on, but I wanted to get in the chat now. So they operate the hotline that one can report concerns about Medicare errors, fraud, and abuse. And I've got a question for you all, and you can put your answer, put your answer in the chat if that is available to you. Can anybody guess how much money was involved in the smallest case that Texas SCP handled in the last several years? The smallest amount of money that was potentially Medicare error, fraud, or abuse. If you've got any guesses, please put them in the chat. I'll give y'all a minute to throw your hats in the ring.
10,000.
Someone says 10,000. Thank you for that guess. Wait, the smallest case? Just the smallest, but I got a big one there for Melissa. Well, actually, the smallest case they've handled, I'm sorry?
60 billion.
That for the largest case? Well, I'll tell you, for the smallest case, it was $18. So there truly is no case that is too small. If you've got something that you see on your benefit statement that doesn't add up, feel free to call the hotline to investigate that and get that started. No case is too small. The largest case that they've handled, I see, 10,000 to, oh my goodness, $1 million. So the largest case they've handled was $9 million. And that's just in the last several years, and that's here in Texas. And so something just to know about those numbers is that no case is too small, but that also a small case like an $18 case could be the tip of an iceberg. It could be collectively part of something that ends up involving millions and millions of, losses to the Medicare program, money that then is saved because it's been uncovered. Right. Oops. So the Senior Medicare Patrol mission is to empower and assist Medicare beneficiaries, their families and caregivers to prevent, detect, and report healthcare fraud, errors, and abuse through outreach and education like we are doing today. However, if anyone there has now or in the future Medicare coverage questions and you need to speak to someone in benefits counseling, the SHIP program, which is the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, is operated through the Dallas Area Agency on Aging. And you can call them for free benefits counseling to get your questions answered about Medicare. Their number is 214-871-5065. Also, you can contact Carl Burlbaugh at the Senior Source. He is a trained benefits counselor, and he is happy to help you with any Medicare related questions. You can call our main number or dial him directly at 214-525-6172. So what about?
Do they help you to get on food stamps?
Well, I'll tell you, you can definitely call the main number and ask to speak to someone about food stamps who is in the Elder Financial Safety Center program. They've got folks who can definitely help with those benefits as well. Thanks so much for asking.
All right.
So Medicare fraud, errors, and abuse truly affect everyone because they know that $60 billion are lost every year to Medicare waste of some kind. And that's just what they know of. That's what's been reported. That's what they've uncovered. But it's certainly probably a lot more than that, $60 billion a year. So this issue puts the Medicare Trust Fund at risk for everybody. For Medicare beneficiaries, it certainly results in higher premiums. There's less money to go around for healthcare to improve, and that impacts a recipient's health. And there can also be personal consequences. A person can be a victim of medical identity theft. And what that is when your Medicare number has been compromised. It could be used by someone to obtain services for themselves, and they're basically impersonating you. Or it's also medical identity theft when a provider is fraudulently billing your Medicare benefits. This can also have negative health impacts for you. Certainly, if a provider that you're using is participating in fraudulent activity, you would worry that the care that you're receiving is detrimental. Certainly, you can have inaccurate records because a fraudulent provider would be potentially submitting false records, saying that you have diagnoses that you don't have, saying you've had lab tests that you've never had performed in order to get reimbursement for that. And unfortunately, that could result in a future denial of benefits for you if you need those tests and screenings later on, because Medicare does have limits, so that could happen. Also, personal financial losses. So you may be billed for co-payments for services you don't even need that aren't medically necessary. Medical bills may end up not being submitted to Medicare that actually should be, and you're getting the entire bill. Or Medicare may deny payment because of a procedure not being medically necessary. They may say no. So waste in Medicare system really covers this whole spectrum: errors, abuse, and fraud. Human error does happen, and it can really add up. Medicare is a complicated program, and sometimes a mistake is simply a mistake with no ill intent intended. It just happens, but it's really important to catch those errors. However, errors can evolve into Medicare fraud and abuse. So what's the difference between Medicare fraud and abuse? What are we even talking about? Well, the main difference is intent. Was the improper behavior conducted knowingly? Was it intentional? Sometimes an error can evolve into abuse. Say if a provider, a Medicare provider, has improperly coded a service, and they don't realize that they've done that and made a mistake. But maybe at some point they do realize that it was a mistake, but they like getting a little more money for that. And so they don't make that change. And that would be something that's really escalated into a fraud situation. Medicare abuse can be if, you know, an error has become entrenched so that it's affecting so many people and so many hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's really in the Medicare abuse category. But there's something to know is that you don't need to decide if something is a Medicare error, fraud, or abuse before you report it. That's really up to the authorities. And in fact, when you report something to the hotline that's in Houston, that is, they're going to, you know, if there is enough information to build a case, they will send that on to the authorities for actually investigating, and they will determine if it is a Medicare fraud or abuse situation. So some examples are of fraud and abuse in Medicare: billing for services, supplies, or equipment that weren't even provided, excessive billing for medical supplies, obtaining or giving out your Medicare number for quote unquote free services. So someone has said that a service or a product is free, and then they want your Medicare number and they actually bill Medicare for it. Improper coding to obtain a higher payment. I was talking about that. Unnecessary or excessive lab tests, x-rays, using another person's Medicare number or letting someone else use your number. That is also Medicare fraud. So we are going to move into some of the current Medicare scams. We'll touch on some of the scams that I think of as just being eternal. They were going on before COVID. They're still going on now. Maybe they've changed how they access people to try to scam because of COVID, but they'll continue on into the future. And then we definitely are going to focus on COVID-19 scams, because there really are, unfortunately, a lot of scams that are going on with this pandemic that everyone is having to suffer through. So I'm going to turn it over to Grace, and she can take it from here. Let me get to the next slide.
Okay, good morning, everyone. As Allison mentioned, unfortunately, due to COVID-19, there have been a lot of scams that have been coming out. So we're going to cover some of these for you. Even though it is unfortunate that there are scams due to COVID-19, there are other entities such as the FBI or the CMS and even SMP that are alerting the public about these scams and emerging fraud schemes related to the COVID-19 vaccine. And let's go over some of these red flags that all of you should be aware of, or maybe if you happen to notice it, it might trigger something in your mind. Ads or offers for early access to the vaccine, for payment or deposit. Keep in mind that no one will ask you for payment, a deposit, or a fee to obtain a vaccine. Right now, everything is obtainable free, and all you have to do is sign up for it. In addition, requests asking you to pay out of pocket to obtain the vaccine, offers to undergo additional medical testing or procedures when you do obtain the vaccine. There are various marketers also that offer to sell or ship the vaccine for payment or a fee. This will never occur. You have to go down to a facility, a bona fide government facility, to obtain the vaccine. And of course, we have the proverbial unsolicited emails, the telephone calls, the text messages that someone is calling you from a medical office or an insurance company to talk to you about obtaining personal or medical information to see if possibly you might want to participate in a trial. If you are really interested in something like that, you can go to www.cds.com to see if there are any types of clinical trials that the CDC is offering under their V-Safe program. This is really the only way that you can determine whether that's legitimate or not. In addition, other red flags, claims of FDA approval of a vaccine that can't be verified, new healthcare coverage, cold calls from health insurance agencies, people offering grants, and of course, senior care packages. Medicare does not pay for hand sanitizer, masks, or gloves. Or a provider initiates calls to patients to check in during the pandemic, but bills Medicare for provision of a medical exam. As a side note, this can happen. Possibly your doctor's office may call you to see if possibly you may want a video conference visit as opposed to an actual physical in-office visit. So keep in mind that this is something that possibly your doctor's office may be calling you about, but that's the only time that they should do that. And once you take a look at your invoices that come in, you can check that out. And of course, there is right now no cure for COVID-19. So that's an absolute red flag.
Hey, Grace, I'm just going to add a couple of things. I think that it's actually the reverse. If that Medicare will pay for a situation where they call to try to determine if you actually need to come into the office rather than be seen through telehealth, that is considered, even that kind of sort of examination is legitimate to bill Medicare for. So it's kind of the reverse. I just want to, it is, again, a little confusing, but that is something there. That also, Grace touched on it about the vaccine V-Safe program that the CDC is offering. So one of the things to know that's brand new is that there is a vaccine survey scam going on. And so if you've had the vaccine, be very careful. If you receive something that looks like it's from Moderna or Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson, these are the vaccine makers, and it says, you've had the vaccine and we want to know, how did it affect you? Please take this survey. And there's a reward, for filling this out. And, then they end up asking, they say there's just a limited time to do this, and they need, you need to pay a nominal fee for, shipping of whatever the reward is. This is a scam. The only survey type thing that is out there related to the vaccine that is legitimate is from the CDC, and you would go to the CDC yourself to participate at www.cdc.gov, and that is their V-Safe program. And that's where you could report if you have side effects from the vaccine or something like that. But this survey thing that looks like it's from Pfizer or Moderna or something, that is a scam. Just delete that. Take it away, Grace.
Thank you. Sure. Okay, let's take a look at some additional red flags. There's price gouging. Hand sanitizer and masks are being priced at a 15% higher cost. There's also the GoFundMe internet site. I know everybody's familiar with that. If you think that this might be a scam, all you have to do is go to www.give.org to find legitimate charity sites. So again, it's www.give.org. If you think that a GoFundMe internet site might be something that truly is a scam. There are also requests from private investors for money for COVID-19 research. Again, scams involve money and payments, and so there is no reason for any of us to be paying out any money for anything related to COVID-19 at the present time. In addition, we have the stimulus checks that are coming out, but there are also fake stimulus checks that are sent, and then the recipient receives a phone call requesting verification relative to Social Security number or your other personal information. The government already has that. So, and stimulus checks are actually, many of them are being submitted through a direct deposit. I do realize that some people get it through the mail, but keep in mind that no one is going to call you to verify relative to any information so that you can cash the stimulus check. No one's going to be asking you for any personal information. And be aware of mail that says it's time sensitive. The government has your information already, as I mentioned, and there is nothing further for you to do, and just consider this to be a scam. Robocalls are also a major issue. And 60% of all calls to cell phones are fraudulent. And I'm sure all of you have received some kind of a robocall. And the biggest thing that I can tell you to do is to just hang up. And be aware of spoofing technology. And this is where an entity can actually almost mirror a legitimate, say, Social Security office number or the Medicare office. And so you're thinking you're actually getting a call from Medicare or from Social Security. They will not be calling you. The only reason that they would be calling you is if you actually initiated a call. And that happened to me one time. I actually did have to contact Medicare, and they did tell me that they would call me back. They identified the person that would be calling me back. There also might be a case number they're going to call you, but they will never initiate the call. You have to do it first, and then they do follow-up calls. Robocalls will always give you the option to be removed from their call list by pressing a number. This is very important. Do not do that. Just hang up. There is never a problem in you hanging up. If they really want to speak to you, unfortunately, they may try you again, but you just keep hanging up. You're not going to hurt their feelings. Caller claims to be from Medicare, and that does happen sometimes, or a vaccine distribution site or a medical office. This, again, is another scam. So the best thing I tell you is, again, take that phone and just either delete the call or just hang up on them. They really do not feel that you've slighted them. They'll just go on to the next call. So keep in mind, Medicare will never contact you.
Sorry, Grace, just a sec. There we go.
Okay, in this changing, unfortunate COVID-19 landscape, it is possible the county health officials will contact you by phone if you are registered to receive the vaccine. And that's about the only time that does happen. They may want to confirm either the site where you're going to go to get it. They may need additional information. If you have an issue with that, just be very careful, be very cautious. It should not be something that you should be afraid of. If you think that that's not a legitimate call, you can very easily ask for their phone number and call them back. You can call your doctor's office, but keep in mind that sometimes the county health officials may call you back to confirm an appointment that's coming up for a vaccine that you're going to be having. And be very cautious. When you do bring your Medicare number or your health insurance card to a scheduled appointment, that's fine. But that's only if they tell you to do that. Health officials will not initiate calls to sign you up for a vaccine. You have to do that, and they will follow up to make sure the information is correct. County or state officials may also contact you by phone in a contact tracing role. This is in case possibly you may have been in contact with someone who unfortunately has contracted the disease. If you have been exposed to COVID-19, then yes, as I mentioned, contact tracers may contact you. However, and unfortunately, so do scammers. So real contact tracers, keep this in mind, will not ever ask you for payment information. They won't ask for any Social Security or Medicare numbers. They won't ask you about your immigration status. In other words, they will not ask you any personal information over the phone. And if they ask you to click on a link in a text or email, don't do it. Just hang up on them. There also might be some free COVID-19 tests or claims to get you early access to obtain a vaccine. Or they may ask you again for a Social Security number, your personal information such as your Medicare number, and even credit card or bank info. Again, no one that's legitimate would ask you for any of this information over the phone. Just hang up on them, or if you get a text message, then just delete these messages. Don't even bother reading them. Just go ahead and delete them. Additional scams may be through door-to-door, flyers offering special masks, official people or products. There are always ads online, on social media, or in emails that are soliciting information for you to sign up for vaccine signups, virus test kits, COVID-19 prevention or treatment products. Just keep in mind these are red flags. If your gut tells you that there's something wrong, you just don't think that this is legitimate, you're probably correct, and you can delete the message, you can throw away the information, or you can hang up. So that's the best thing I could tell you to do. If you happen to get something on the internet through email, look for misspelled words. That's the first common sign. I actually, in my personal experience, I just did receive something, and a lot of times you don't really pay attention who's sending it to you, but in the sender's information or in their website address, it'll always be misspelled. And if you see that, just delete it. Don't ever click on it. Just go ahead and delete the message. And if it happens again, delete it again. You know, they can be persistent. That's what scammers do. But so can you by deleting a message or hanging up on them. And scammers, as I mentioned, can infect your computers. There's malware that can be delivered. And that's one of the main reasons we say, please never click on any kind of a website that you're not familiar with, because that's going to be a sure sign that something's going to go wrong. Don't click on any links or open attachments from someone that's unsolicited or from a messenger or sender that you are not aware of who that is. Better to go ahead and just eliminate the message. If they really need to contact you, they'll try again. Scammers, unfortunately, also impersonate the CDC. They can impersonate the Texas Department of Health. They can also impersonate WHO, which is the World Health Organization. So they're very, very sharp and they're very astute, and they know how to get to someone if they really need to. So it's better if you again, trust your gut. If you think there's something wrong, delete it, get rid of it. If you own a computer search do your own computer search. If you think there's something wrong, you can always double check. There's never anything wrong in you double checking and make sure that it is either a scam or it is legitimate. You have every right to do that. And the last thing is ask trusted persons. If you're really unsure or you're not computer savvy, especially all of you with grandchildren, they know more about the computer than any of us combined, and they can certainly help you out as far as making sure that what you're looking at is either legitimate or it's not. So go ahead and talk to them about it. Now, to get COVID-19 information safely, there are various options. Consult the state or the county health department websites. They are always updating and making sure that the information that they have on their website is up to date. Contact your own health provider. They will more than gladly assist you relative to any questions you may have. If you do receive a text or email that appears from your doctor's office, call them, as I mentioned earlier. They'll confirm whether they did send the particular email or the text to you. And of course, check with www.fda.gov for any current information, anything related to the vaccine, and any emergency use authorization. They're really the best source you could go to. And follow any guidance from the CDC and other trusted medical professionals. You can always ask them a question. And stay safe. Know that Medicare will cover the cost of the actual vaccine. Again, you never have to give out any money. There are no payments and there are no fees. Make sure you never give out any personal information. No one should ask you for your Medicare information, your Social Security information, or your credit card information over the phone. And avoid providing Medicare information in an online scheduling form if possible. I do know a lot of times if you are trying to get a vaccine, you do need to complete an online form, and that sometimes can happen, but beware of that. If you have any questions, again, go to your trusted source and they'll be able to help you out. And it's important to review your EOBs or your Medicare through your Medicare Advantage plans, if that's how you participate, for any errors or double billing. That doesn't mean a mistake can't happen, and that does happen because obviously there are many things going on in today's unfortunate COVID-19 world. But these processes are new and errors can occur. So that's a possibility, but it never hurts to pick up the phone and ask.
Thank you so much, Grace. All right, we are going to move into the other kinds of Medicare scams and just touch on them lightly, just give you some examples because they're always variations on a theme. So genetic testing. So the way these test scams work, there'll be advertisements for screenings, and they'll call them screenings for cancer, dementia, Parkinson's, DNA, heart disease, or something called pharmacogenetics. And that's about how you metabolize medications, how your particular body would metabolize a medication. And so these entities take cheek swabs, and they will ask for Medicare numbers and personal information in order to bill. In our COVID situation, people may get genetic test information mailed to them, or people may go door to door, offering these tests, things like that. In any case, the representative may falsely promise that Medicare is going to pay for the test and that you just need to provide the cheek swab. Sometimes they don't even use a cheek swab. Instead, you may get an email saying, just, this test is available to you. Medicare will pay for it. Just upload, your Medicare card and we'll see, exactly how, or if the plan will pay for the test. all of this is a scam. A representative offering genetic testing, they offer money or a gift. And of course, it's illegal to accept anything of value in exchange for medical services provided under Medicare. So before COVID, the way that these scammers, genetic testing scammers were accessing seniors was at churches, at health fairs, senior housing communities, at senior meal sites and recreation centers, at home, through home health agencies, basically anywhere that older adults would meet. Now that COVID's going on and there aren't these gatherings, they may be trying to access seniors through email, through phone calls, door to door. These are all possibilities. But remember that if you really need a genetic test, this is only going to be determined by your treating physician at their office. And it actually requires assigned beneficiary consent. A big red flag about a genetic testing entity, if they're fraudulent, is that they're going to use scare tactics, saying things like, the wrong prescription can kill you, or gosh, if you want to prevent cancer, things like that. Unfortunately, people have been stuck with huge bills, like $10,000, when their insurance plan decided the test was not medically necessary. It's really important for you all to know that Medicare is only going to pay for genetic testing in really limited circumstances, and it has to be ordered by your physician. Moving on, durable medical equipment and those fraud schemes. Some examples are a caller or supplier may ask, do you have back pain, knee pain, neck pain? And they'll say that you qualify for a quote unquote free brace. And then they want your Medicare number to bill them. Okay, that is not legitimate. That is fraud. They may lead with something like, you've been pre-approved to receive a free whatever. Medicare recipients who willingly accept unnecessary DME or supplies, or who allow their Medicare number to be used in exchange for money or other things, are committing fraud. You may come across suppliers of DME who want you to use their doctors. And well, that's because those doctors are in cahoots with them and they're going to prescribe unnecessary DME. Other examples are suppliers who charge your Medicare number for equipment and supplies that you never even received. And suppliers have even billed Medicare numbers of people who have passed away, which is very sad. But true. Home health care and hospice, another area where Medicare fraud occurs. So in home health care, an example would be an agency calling or visiting your home, offering free services like cleaning your house, getting you groceries, delivering them, checking your blood pressure. You may even have a representative who comes to your home and does these things for you for a few times. But unfortunately, if your doctor never ordered these services, you need to know these are not legitimate home health covered services as standalone services, and you would need to meet the actual eligibility requirements for home health care. To get paid for these services, a home health agency that is operating fraudulently is going to submit false documents to Medicare. And those documents are going to make it look like you received skilled nursing care. A scammer could also submit false documents to Medicare to get paid even when no services have been received. That has happened. And what's really bad about this is that if you are not aware that this has happened, Medicare can deny future services that are ordered by your real doctor when you really do need home health care. Hospice fraud. An example is when, well, I guess the fact is that continuous home health care, such as one would receive if they were on hospice care, that is going to pay a lot more through Medicare Part A than just routine home care. So sometimes a fraudulent provider is going to try to bill Medicare Part A for hospice when really it's only routine home health care that's being provided. Other examples of hospice fraud are falsely certifying a beneficiary as terminally ill. And sometimes in those cases, the patient or family is actually involved. They know that the person really isn't terminally ill. Hospice fraud has also occurred by enrolling a beneficiary in hospice without the knowledge of the patient or family. So obviously that's a completely different situation that has happened. Also, hospice fraud is when there's billing for services that's not provided or over-medicating patients, alleging that they're in a crisis situation and that their pain is so bad that they need all of this medication that they actually don't need. Unqualified providers who give inadequate care, that is fraud. Providing incentives to doctors or nursing homes to certify people for, who are not really eligible for hospice care, that is a fraud scam. Offering incentives to beneficiaries that are not covered services, like the homemaking deliveries, and encouraging them to elect hospice, and then turning around and falsifying documents in order to get reimbursed by Medicare. So some points just to remember about hospice. Your treating physician is the person who must assess your condition. And that doctor needs to certify that you or loved one are terminally ill with 6 months or less to live. And that doctor needs to be the one who refers you to hospice care, your doctor. Never accept gifts in conjunction with hospice services, and really be wary of offers that seem too good to be true. Also know that there are sham religious entities that are going door to door, leaving off brochures and saying that there's a new hospice benefit that includes adult daycare, homemaker, or housekeeping services. That is a scam. Also, unfortunately, there are situations where a fraudulent hospice care provider is actually diverting medications away from a patient in order to use the drugs themselves or to sell those drugs. Nursing facilities. So this is the last of our Medicare fraud schemes to tell you about. So some examples in a nursing home facility. If you have a loved one there, is sometimes a podiatrist might clip toenails of the diabetic patients who are there, and then ends up billing those residents for diabetic shoes and other supplies, heat lamps, that those patients never even receive. Also, there's something called gang visits, and that's where a provider goes into the nursing home, treats several residents, but actually bills residents who didn't even receive the service. Or they may provide the service to all the residents when some of them don't even need that service. Also, just in a fraud scheme that came up a lot in independent living situations, assisted living facilities, or even senior centers, is the quote unquote free manicure and pedicure. But when you sign up, you're asked to put your name and your Medicare or Medicare Advantage number. So that's a huge red flag that that's not really free. They're going to bill Medicare for something that's just a manicure, pedicure, which is not a Medicare covered service. So I'm going to let Grace take it from here at this point.
Okay. Now, a lot of you, as you can see, we're going to go into what makes Medicare such an easy target. Probably you don't want to believe this, but Medicare actually processes 5.6 million claims on any given working day to 1.5 million different types of vendors or providers. Those are a lot of claims, so that office is pretty busy. And as a result of that, and because of that, they are also obligated that they have to make a payment to the particular vendor or provider within 30 days of receiving the claim. So this means that unfortunately they don't have the time to look at every single bill with scrutiny. So only 3% of those then are actually reviewed. And that's a small number considering that every single day 5.6 million claims are being reported. So Medicare certainly has strike force teams. It has CMS that tries to combat Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. But one of the key factors is us. We are also in a position where we could help Medicare fight this fraud. And here are some steps that you may want to follow. We can protect our information and make sure that we don't give it out of any kind, whether it's the Social Security number, Medicare number, or any other type of payment information. We can also go ahead and see if we can detect that there's a potential case for fraud. And we'll go into a little bit more detail with the EOBs. And then if we happen to think that there might be a problem, whether it's legitimate or not, we can also report it and let the particular entities that get involved in fraud cases follow through with that.
Thank you, Grace. I just want to jump in real fast just to say that, you know, this is so much, I feel like, you know, thinking about all the fraud scams out there, it is just a beat down, just thinking about it and thinking about how much money is involved. And I think what's exciting is to realize that every one of us, you know, can do something to fight back. And these things really do help preserve your benefits, help others. And it really, you know, if you do these steps, it can really help bring perpetrators of the Medicare fraud to justice. And that I think is very exciting and encouraging. And so Grace is going to tell you what you can do.
Okay, we're going to go through 3 different steps. And the first one is protect yourself and others from Medicare fraud. We can do this by, as I mentioned earlier, treating your Medicare card or your Social Security number, or the number, excuse me, on the Medicare card, like you do any other valuable personal information. Do not share it with anyone unless you trust that particular individual and you know that they are legitimate. And of course, unfortunately, we have a lot of identity theft today, and so we have to be very careful with that. And do be aware that Medicare doesn't call and won't visit to sell you anything. I know we've touched on that earlier, but it never hurts to repeat it. And the fact that no one's going to call you for any personal information. Also, make sure that you're aware that nothing is ever free. So if anybody offers you free medical services, just run away from it and tell them no thanks. And delete any unsolicited emails or texts, and make sure if you receive any phone messages or if you get a call and you think that there's something wrong with it, hang up. You definitely won't be hurting their feelings. And make sure if you are on your laptop or your computer, make sure that you double check and access any official government websites if you think something could be wrong with an email that you received. And again, I can't stress this enough. Don't give out your Medicare number except to your doctor or another trusted provider. And don't carry your Medicare card if you don't have to. That's the same thing with the Social Security card. Don't carry that either with you, because if anything ever happens to your wallet or somebody happens to notice the number, they can very easily copy these. So if you can, try to remember these. And also, if you know other people that might want to hear about these tips, just pass these on to them. And the next one is, let's go ahead and this is what we can do to detect the fraud and abuse that goes on in Medicare. Usually when we have one-on-one visits and we have meetings, we will pass out a personal health care journal, and hopefully once we get back into doing that, we will start giving those out again. But do log your own or keep a log, I should say, and log any information relative to any doctor visits or other provider visits. Date of service. Who did you see? What kind of service did they give you? Did they give you any prescriptions? just information for you to keep track so that when you then do get your Medicare summary notices or your explanation of benefits, you can just do a quick review, make sure the dates are correct, the providers are correct, and also the type of service is correct. And you don't want to be double billed. So this is another reason why you should go ahead and just keep track of any provider or doctor services that you undergo. And access any Medicare information if you do question anything through www.mymedicare.gov. They continually update this particular website. You can go in and check any services that may have been rendered to you, any fees that have been paid, and any additional information.
Thank you, Grace. I
And
just want to add.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Were you still talking? Grace?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to add that those three things, looking on your Medicare summary notice or your EOB for services you didn't receive, double billing, or services not ordered by your doctor, those are the three top ones. But if you are feeling like really being a detective, then you can actually look for more things. It really kind of comes down to what you're logging with regard to recording your own care. So, it's a very good habit to make, and it's actually very important to be able to even detect at all if fraud or abuse, if your Medicare number is being misused. Because if you haven't written it down, then your memory or you may not have all the information you need to be able to detect it. For example, if you receive some supplies, write down what are these generic brand, or are they name brand or whatever, and you would notice if you get your bill or you see your Medicare summary notice, and if it shows that you were billed for, say, a name brand product when really what you've been using and have been supplied with is generic, that is actually fraud. That's the kind of fraud that could go undetected if you didn't have that kind of detail. But if you're not interested in being super detective about it, definitely focused on these three items.
Okay, we've touched on protecting your information. We've also talked about detecting it. And here's what you can do if for some reason you think this needs to be reported. First of all, call your provider. As I mentioned earlier, a mistake could have occurred, maybe the improper coding, or they entered the wrong coding, and that's an easy fix. If after your call to the provider you think that there still might be something wrong, go ahead and get your information together and contact the SMP at 1-888-341-6187. This is a hotline, it's free, and it's confidential. So you never have to worry that there'll be any repercussions. We want to help you. Don't wait if you think you might have fallen for a scam. You're never alone, and unfortunately, scammers are out there day in and day out bombarding the public with their various scams. So anytime you think that there's something wrong, go ahead and give us a call. And your Texas SMP can help with your questions. If you have any other complaints or any other concerns relative to any potential or possible Medicare fraud and abuse. And I'd like to just go over some of the additional resources that might help you. To report any type of scam activity, you could certainly call the Texas Office of the Attorney General, and the number is 1-800-621-0508. Definitely you can contact the Better Business Bureau. They are out to helping the public. And in the North Central area, their number is 214-220-2000. If you're not sure if a communication or request is a financial scam, here are some other numbers you can contact. The Elder Financial Safety Center at the Senior Source. You can ask them any question you might have, and their number is 214-823-5700. Now, if you are 55 and over and interested in training to be an SCP volunteer like I am, or if you want to schedule a speaker for your group, if you're possibly interested, go ahead and give us a call at 214-823-5700. And of course, there's always the online website at www.smpresource.org. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Grace. And thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop this share so that we can see each other again. And I'm going to, there we go. Wow. Thanks for hanging in. We had so much information, and I definitely want to give you all an opportunity to ask any questions if we have time. Or Melissa, do we have time?
We do.
Okay. So we're a large group. So if you're able to put a question in the chat, that would be good. But if needed, because of how you're tuning in, you can unmute as well.
And if y'all have some questions that y'all just later on think of, let one of us, Melanie or Constance, myself, let us know and we can pass that question on as well. So if you have any other, can't think of it now, but then you think later, definitely let us know and we can set on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Nobody has any questions? That if you do, just unmute yourself. I think there was a lot, which was great information. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Well, thank you for this opportunity. You all are a great group.
Is there a way we can get those numbers and we can pass that on into our newsletters and get this information to them?
Absolutely, absolutely. I can share that.
Perfect.
Slide with you or however later. Yeah, good idea.
Okay, and I will enclose that in the newsletters, ladies, so that we can you have those numbers at hand whenever needed. Melanie, you have anything to add?
I want to say thank you to Allison and Grace for joining us and sharing this very helpful information today. We appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I can keep breathing in. There we go. All right. Well, if nobody has any questions, I just want to kind of, again, thank you, Allison and Grace. You're always welcome to share information with us. We greatly appreciate it. I want to share with everyone just a reminder how to complete your timesheet. Does everybody remember this timesheet? Yes. All right. So what I'm going to do is, don't forget, this is the
25th.
Right. So we are going to scroll down to today, the 25th. Right here, you will put in service. Sorry, my handwriting is not very well. Then you make sure that it is under training. So training is right here. And you will put your 2 hours. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
All right, in service, 2 hours, and that's the wrong date, but you know what I mean. It's not very easy writing on this. So I, again, just wanted to share that with you. Newsletters will be going out tomorrow. We will send this other information that we received, valuable information today, try to add that into the newsletter for tomorrow as well. Yeah. And Melanie, you have anything else to add?
I have one more thing. We have some cards that some of our volunteers in our other programs are writing, just little notes to the kids that are at the convention center at the border, coming from the border. And so I wanted to present that as an opportunity for you all. It's not service opportunity. It won't count towards your time as a senior companion volunteer, but if it just touches your heart and you would like to write a note to those kids to let them know that someone thinks about them and is caring about them, that is an opportunity. So I just ask that you will let us know, and then we can get the cards to you all to write notes to them.
Yes, I would like one.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jackson.
I would also.
Okay, Ms. Tiggs, we'll get some to you. What we may do is just send them out with the newsletters. The next round, not the ones that are going to be sent tomorrow. We'll just send a card in the newsletter, and should you, feel it in your heart to write a note, do so, and then send it back to us. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. I have a question.
Yes, somebody said they had a question.
I have a question, Shirley
Oh,
Jones.
Jones, okay.
In writing the letters, most of those kids are coming from other countries, Mexico and other countries. Are they gonna have an interpreter, or we have to look up the language?
I'm sure
So
they
you
have
don't-
someone
yeah.
that can read that. Yeah.
You won't have to figure out how to write it in Spanish. We'll work that part out on our end. Okay?
Good question though. Very considerate.
Yeah,
very
very
great.
considerate.
Very considerate. Yes.
Just please write legibly so that we can figure out what you're saying.
Yeah, you might want to do it in print because some of them are young and probably don't know how to read cursive yet. So
that's correct.
Cursive anymore.
Yeah, they use cursive. That's true. Constance, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Miss Melissa?
Yes, ma'am.
I had my account, my bank account, all of my bank accounts have been compromised, and I don't know whether you're having anything come back from me, but I did call and give my new account.
Okay, Ms. Tiggs, I will, why don't you call me at maybe 5 minutes after this meeting and we can talk about it?
All right.
Perfect. Constance, did you have anything to add?
I had something I wanted to ask.
Yes?
Our time
sheets?
Our time sheets end on the 30th, and we have 31 days in March.
Just add it at the bottom with their space underneath
Okay.
it. Yeah. That's
Okay.
Well, just want to say good morning to everybody. Good crowd, lots of good information. Hope you guys took a few notes. There was a lot to remember, very good information. Good seeing everybody.
Hello, Miss Constance.
Hello.
And also, if you're still interested in the Pen Pal program, definitely contact Constance.
The ones that have contacted me, I got your names. I'll be in touch.
And now what?
Pen Pal.
The Pen Pal program.
Okay.
All right, ladies, I think that is it for our meeting today. We will see you in 2 weeks, and everybody have a safe weekend. Melanie, Constance, anything else? Again, Allison, Grace, thank you so much for your presentation. It was great information.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks,
everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Y'all be safe.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.
I'm out.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Goodbye. Leaving.
Bye, ladies. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Have a blessed one.
Thank
you
too.
See you tomorrow, Ms. Tarrant.
Goodbye. This is Patricia. Have a good one.
Bye,
Bye-bye,
Patricia.
Ms. Floyd.
All right. Bye-bye.
Who was the gal?